Hello, this is Elmer Santos with the Robofest game judge training for this year's challenge, Robot Parking Valet. This file can be found on the game page on our website, robofest.net. This is our agenda. We'll just go over some game details, site host and judge roles and responsibilities, the robot impounding process, violations, full reset, end of run, our procedures and rules to play the 2 rounds, scoring, and then finally some UTF examples. For the purpose of this training, we've color-coded the sheets. Slides taken directly from the game rules are blue, then slides with a white background have been specially prepared for training. So we'll start out with the game scenario. Looking for a parking spot can be a challenge. Imagine a future where your car can be automatically parked conveniently, safely, and efficiently for you, then automatically brought to you along with your keys on demand. Robotic parking systems can even stack parked vehicles for even greater space utilization. All right, so here's the actual setup. Task are to survey the parking lot, move the keys, which is represented by this metal, and the black vehicle to the pickup area, to park the white vehicle in an open space or an adjacent something adjacent to an open space. And we'll get into those details later. And then also to park your robot in the specified location that will be unveiled while avoiding obstacles. For the game run, it's a 2-minute round with 1 reset allowed. All tasks must be autonomous, and there will be some unknown tasks and factors unveiled for the work time. And they'll relate to the robot's starting orientation, black vehicle location, the white vehicle location for junior, other vehicle locations for junior as well, and then a game-ending robot location and task. Next, I just wanted to cover some common definitions. UTF, unknown tasks and factors. Those are what are announced 30 minutes before the work time. Work time, that's a 30-minute period before each round where teams adjust their programs and have access to the practice and official fields. The pit, the area where of team work tables, only team members are allowed in this area for the duration of the competition. Impound, the process of inspecting each team's robot for compliance. Impound area, the table near the official fields where all robots are placed. After inspection, they remain there until the team is instructed to get them. A run, that's a 2-minute period where the robot completes the mission on the field. A round, that's 1 run completed by all teams, also referred to as R1 and R2. Okay, some game definitions. The field, that's all the materials, including our 6-foot table, vehicles, and other objects. A drop-off vehicle, that is the white box. The pickup vehicle, that is the black box, right? Those refer to similar to a parking situation where you're dropping off your vehicle to be parked or you're picking up your vehicle to leave. Parked vehicles, there are brown boxes or similarly shaped objects. Key rack, right? This is the thing that holds the keys, and it's taped to the floor and to the table. The key is a Robofest participation medal or similar. Pylons, those are AA batteries. Survey markers are, we use Lego bricks, common 2x4 bricks. Parking lot lines are black tape And the scorecard does what the judges use to calculate the points and show the team. All right, this is right from the rules. Let's explain how a field looks. Starting on the left here, the west side. The robot starts here with some part hanging over the west edge. And the orientation, it's probably going north, southeast, or west. That will be unveiled right prior to work time. There's going to be one vehicle parked in either area 1 or area 2. This is the pickup area. And then there are going to be vehicles in these parking spaces, right? One black vehicle and some other vehicles. And note that the spot may be empty, but there's a maximum of one empty spot at the start. Then you've got the key rack, the pylons, which are AA batteries. And also note that this is not a parking spot. This is part of the cross aisle. All right, game details. Task. Start the robot in the unveiled rotation. Orientation. Survey the parking lot by visiting X, Y, and Z. Pick up the keys from the key rack. Deliver the keys and the black vehicle to the pickup location. Move the white box from a drop-off location to either a vacant spot, which is possibly A, B, C, D, or E for 10 points, or stacked on a vehicle adjacent to a vacant spot for 16 points. Park the robot and complete the game-ending task specified in the UTF, and then avoid obstacles. Keep the locations intact. All right, this is the key rack. Just a few things to note. As I had said earlier, it's taped to the table and to the floor to try to keep it stable. When you hang the rack, please make sure there's about a 2.5 centimeter, about an inch gap, right? That this allows the robot to pick it up. So that's very important. So that's the key rack. All right, next, site host and chief judge responsibilities. Review all game rules and judge training, recruit, assign, and train volunteers. Set up the location to include a registration area, a pit, official competition area, and for a predetermined number of fields, spectator area. And then please prepare and verify initial placement of field objects. Verify the placement of vehicles on official tables after impound using the host UTF's instructions for each round. Manage or assign the impound process to judges or proctors. Manage the teams going in and out of the impound area for each run. Right. This involves determining the team order, calling the teams to pick up the robot, starting and ending each round, and then instructing teams to return the robot. Validating the scores, and then at the end, awarding certificates and medals and trophies to the winners. And then finally coordinating a group photo, which is very important to Robofest. Okay, next we have the judge roles and responsibilities. They are to review the game judge training and game rules, proctor the teams during the event. So no adults in the pit during competition, and no adults in the pit or spectator area, and no contact with adults during the work time. And then also, please help make sure teams share the field, right, the official and practice tables. Judges are responsible for impounding robots, and then also for understanding the unknown task and factor sheets. So judges work with your partner judge to guide the team at the start of the run, watch for violations, reset the field if the team requests a reset. Team can be asked if they wish to reset. Judges should also reset the field materials quickly when a reset is requested, because the time keeps running during the reset. Record the time. If it appears the team achieves 100 points, a perfect score, score the run on the scorecard. review the scorecard with the team for agreement, sign it, and ask the team to sign it. Then finally turn in the scorecard to the scorekeeper. All right, next, robot impounding process. Only one team should approach the impound table to minimize traffic. Judges will be provided a size measuring board to check for size. Judges should handle the robot as little as possible. Ask the team members to place the robots on the measuring board. Judges will check the robot for the following: maximum length and width. You should ask if the team the robot expands, and then the wires are not counted as part of this 35 by 35. All the wheels must be touching the table surface during inspection. And then the robots must have the proper labels, a Robofest team ID, and then a front indicator. And site hosts be prepared to provide labels if teams did not arrive with them. Robots may not be charged at impound. That's so robots should be turned off to save batteries. And then after inspection, ask the team member to place the robot on their team placemat on the impound table. This helps make an efficient process for retrieving and returning the robots. All right, next, going to go over some violations. All right, so when any of the following occur, the judges shall stop gameplay in the robot if it's still moving. So if human touches the robot or field materials, because it's supposed to be all autonomous. If the robot falls off the table or any part touches the floor or any other activities the judge determines are illegal. The team can request a one-time full reset at any time. If a reset is requested, time continues to run while the judges reset the table. The team may declare the end of the run at any time. Players should not move the robot until instructed by the judge. If the robot is still moving when the team calls end of the run, no points will be awarded for game-ending task, which requires the robot to be stopped. Only contestants are allowed to access the pit area, team tables, practice fields, and official game fields throughout the competition. When the unknown test and factors are unveiled, teams will be provided a hard copy and or it will be projected on screen. Teams will be given a 30-minute work time after the UTFs are unveiled to work on their robots and make adjustments. Prior to this, all people except for contestants and authorized staff and volunteers will be dismissed. During the work time, teams must share the fields. Team members may ask clarifying questions about the UTF, but any questions regarding scoring and procedures should be referred to the rules. All teams must submit their robot to the impound area when the 30-minute time is up. Robots may be taken early. Only one team member should deliver the robot to impound. Teams that do not impound the robots on time will be subject to penalty. And that penalty will be at the discretion of the chief judge at the event. During the impounding process, judges will inspect the robots. No power will be supplied at the impound table. We covered that earlier. Teams will compete in a predetermined order decided by the site host. During the game rounds, all team members must remain in the team spectator area. No pit access is allowed. When a team is called to compete, a maximum of 2 team members are allowed at the field. The judge or MC will check if timer ready, judges ready, and the teams are ready, and then do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go to start a game run. Contestants must stay near the start zone. They should not follow the robot around. They can approach the robot only at the end or to request a reset or when the judge tells them. Final scoring is done after the run is over. A team member must sign the scorecard to confirm. Then teams play 2 rounds. Each round has a different set of UTFs. All right. Here's our scorecard for this year. Let me go through it. basically you just go from top to bottom. Yeah. So first, survey the parking lot. We've tried to simplify this. You simply count how many bricks have been pushed off the table and put the answer here. Second, whether a black vehicle is delivered to the pickup location. So only one of these can be yes. So it's either in the correct location, partially in the correct location, or moved. And I'll go through that criteria next. Key, similar. Only one yes. It's either in the correct location, partially in the correct location, or simply moved, or nothing. Parked vehicle, parking the white vehicle, it's either stacked in an adjacent spot, stacked it, partially stacked in an empty spot, partially empty spot, or simply moved. Oops. Pylons, just if they're upright in their original location, right, there can be up to 5. Game ending task, this year we've divided them into 2 parts, but for to get credit for either, the robot must be stopped. So first check, is it in the correct stop location, which is specified by the UTF? If so, you get a yes. And is the display correct? Does it display the correct answer? Then parked vehicles, there's a violation if they're moved completely out of the parking space. And then robot remains intact during the run. You get 10 points if it does. And then if there's a reset, there's a 3-point penalty. And this file can be found on our website. Scoring spreadsheet. Yeah, so judges, it's your responsibility to make sure the score card is correct, and then the score sheet does the calculations, right, for tiebreakers and that kind of stuff. This spreadsheet will be provided by the Robofest office. Scorekeeper should verify the scorecard and data entry of the scores. And then, as I said, the team ranking will be calculated automatically. Once again, we are using the best plus average divided by 2 method to do the ranking. And then tiebreakers, they'll be the best of the 2 rounds, the highest time left for the best score if it's 100 points, and then a rerun if needed. And with best plus average, we found that there's usually no rerun needed. Okay, this is what we mean by adjacent spots, right? It kind of depends on what the initial table setup is. So basically, this is what happened, what a table looks like when the black vehicle is removed. I'll just go over the first example or 2. In this case, the black vehicle was here. So this is the empty spot, and then this is the adjacent spot. You might have a case where there is more than one adjacent spot, right? Or a case where there are 2 empty spots in the middle. So either of these are fine for an empty spot, and then in this case, there's 1 adjacent spot. So the adjacent spot will be identified on the host sheet that's provided to the judges for use during the round. But this kind of explains what some of the different potentials are. Okay, next, I want to go through some scoring definitions. All right, so for the black vehicle being brought to a pickup area, all parts of the vehicle are within the line. So and that includes, like, if it's on the line but not over the outside of the line, that counts. So, and this is in projected or bird's eye view. So here's some examples, right? Yeah. These are correct, right? It's on the boundary, right? You see this one's actually on the line, but it's not over. This would be a partial, right? You see partial, so some part is outside. And then this is moved. Nothing's actually in there, but it's been moved from the original spot. You can see the locator. Okay, scoring definition for white vehicle, it's similar, right? The entire box must be inside the lines for it to count. So this is in an empty spot. This would be partial, right? And then moved, you can see the marker, but nothing is in the parking spot. For stacked, it's similar, except for you use the projection of both boxes. So both boxes inside the outside part of the zone, that's considered fully stacked. If any part is outside of the projection is outside, that's partial. And then if there's nothing in there, but it's been moved from the original location, that's considered moved. All right, next going through some specifics about the UTFs. So for junior, these are the things that are going to be unveiled. The starting orientation, right, represented by the arrow here. The white vehicle location, it's either area 1 or 2. In this case, it's area 1. Black vehicle location, in this case, it's spot B. And then other vehicles are shown, and you can see the adjacent spots are shown on this diagram, so they know where they need to go, at least for a junior example. The game ending task, this will be some sort of math problem and location. In this case, it says the robot must be stopped in spot 1, right? Nothing touching the outside of the lines, and facing northwest, and displaying the answer to if the distance from the robot to X is 155, how fast is the robot moving if it takes 6 seconds to go half the distance to X? All right, so basically the task is to have the robot stopped in the specified location, and these are all specific to each UTF, right? But just looking at this one, right, it's pretty specific. It says in spot 1, nothing touching outside the lines, and facing northwest. So some will be, maybe easier, right, to simply stop on the table, for example. And then the calculations, the question was asked during the training, does the robot have to do the calculation? And the answer is no. The only thing we'll be evaluating is the display. So if it's displaying the right answer, however you got it is acceptable. For senior, you see there's a lot less unveiled. It's basically just the starting location and the black vehicle location, and everything else is unveiled afterwards. So this is where the robots in senior division have to do some active sensing during the round to understand the layout, right? Where white vehicle location is, for example, right? Where the rest of the other vehicles are. And then the game on the task is a little harder. So in this example, the robot must be stopped with some part over location Z and displaying the answer to total number of vehicles in spots A, B, and C squared, right? So you can see in this example, since it's not unveiled, the robot would have to actually count the vehicles in spots A, B, and C and then do the calculation and display it. And once again, note that actual UTFs will be different for each round. They may include different stopping locations, conditions, measurements. So please refer to the specific example for details. That's basically it for the training. Hopefully this has been informative. If you have any questions, please send your questions to robofest@ltu.edu. So I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you so much for supporting Robofest, and I hope to see you in May.